Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 26 von If My Heart Had Wings. In der letzten Folge haben unsere Club-Members ihre Testflüge wieder aufgenommen, da nun die Winch repariert ist. Und dann ist endlich der große Tag gekommen. Die Morning Glory ist morgens da und sie starten ihren Flug und versuchen, über die Morning Glory zu kommen. Da sie dafür aber ziemlich hoch hinaus müssen, strugglen sie gerade damit, auf die richtige Höhe zu kommen und wir schauen nun weiter, ob sie das schaffen. They're losing a lot of altitude. They can't find any thermals. What will they do? At this rate they won't reach those pretty clouds. Do your best! Do your best! Even if they do their best, if no updrafts are blowing, it can't be helped. Oh, a black bird is flying over there. What? It would be good if the glider could also flap its wings like a bird. Good thing we put in some hidden upgrades, haha. That's why I said that they should have an engine. Huh? What is it, Yoru-chan? Looks like it's coming this way. You're right, it's coming towards us. Do your best! Do your best! Ganbatte! Strange, there are no clouds that could indicate thermals over here either. Do your best! You were right, Kotori. Yeah, no doubt about it. Even with the binoculars, it still looks tiny, though. In response to Kotori's transmission, we headed across the lake towards the windmill hill. There should be some thermals. Some thermals over there. But there aren't any clouds that could indicate thermals. Even if there are thermals somewhere, it doesn't mean that clouds will always be formed. Besides, I think it could occur because the hill has a slope. So thermals are more likely to occur above slopes? Yeah. The sunlight hits the Earth's surface diagonally, right? If it's a slope, the light will hit it perpendicularly. This concentrates the energy, warming it more easily. The slope of the hill that we were heading towards was shining the light of the morning sun. How is it, Kotori? It's there, I found it. It's a lot higher than it was a moment ago. There's no mistaking it, it's a black bird. Okay. We couldn't confirm that from where we were right now, but it seems that a black bird was flying above the hill. Black birds are birds that glide to high altitudes using updrafts. The species has black bird? In other words, there was a thermal over there. However, that doesn't necessarily mean there will be enough lift to raise a heavy two-seater glider. But there was nothing else left for us to try. I couldn't think of anything other than aiming for that point. Eventually, the glider crossed the lake and approached the sky above the windmill lake. Thud. Ich sollte die Sounds, glaube ich, gar nicht nachmachen. Die werden sowieso hier noch immer abgespielt als Sound. Wow! Whoa! Suddenly, we were shaken sideways. The variometer told us that the glider had dropped sharply. Oof. We've been caught in a downdraft? I panicked, but the next moment, we felt an impact. We're rising! Suddenly I felt like we were being pushed from below. The glider started steadily rising. With a small delay, the variometer informed us that we were climbing. Der Song im Hintergrund. Ja, gerade so kann ich den Gesang noch hören. We got on a thermal. It's pretty strong. We can do this, Senpai. Yeah. Ah, they're climbing. They're climbing. Hey, look, Agehan. Oh, you're right. Amazing. They've gotten so high already. See? There was one. Yeah, fine play, Kotori. Hehehe, I was praised. Okay. Does it look like they can climb all the way up? We've got a pretty strong lift. I think we can make it. Take care of Amane, Senpai. Leave it to me. Gerade gemerkt, Aoi kriegt keine Quotes. Alle anderen schon beim Reden, oder? Alright, go! Beyond those clouds! Yeah, on the wings that you guys have made. Amazing! They've gone up so high! How can they fly so high just by using the wind? I can explain the theory. Do you want to hear it? No thanks, even if you told me I wouldn't understand it. Besides, I don't think that something like that can be explained with some theory. It is the power of friendship lifting us up. Without theory, something that big would never be able to fly. It's the theory pushing us up. Diese Formulierungen. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Before we knew it, powerful thermals above the windmill hill had carried us high and up into the sky. We were gradually approaching the morning glory. We're getting closer, Senpai. Yeah. The clouds that from below looked thin and scattered turned out to be actually pretty big when we got closer to them. I wonder how wide they are. They're big enough to completely cover the glider at least. Das ist nicht besonders groß. They stretch far enough to cross the lake diagonally. It's a little far. Don't worry, if we can climb above the clouds like that, it should be easy to reach it. Start the song neu. The thermal that we got on now was pretty powerful. As Amane-senpai had just explained, the slope of the hill is struck by direct sunlight, so it heats up faster than other areas. In other words, that means that the difference in temperature between it and its surroundings gets bigger. Without the difference in temperatures, thermals won't occur. If that difference is big, thermals will be strong. The updraft that Kotori had found for us seemed strong enough to carry us far up into the sky. While this was happening, the sun was rising and the air temperature was increasing. Morning glory lasts for about 2 hours from dawn at best. Come on, come on! I was impatient. However, if we overdo it and lose balance, we might lose altitude. While checking the rate of climb on the vertical speed indicator, I turned the glider aiming for the most effective place, the core of the thermal. Eventually, the glider that Amane-senpai and I were flying reached the altitude of our target, the morning glory. We ascended further and finally reached a position from where we could view it from above. Look, senpai! Yeah, I can see it. I knew she would be looking, of course. I just said it unconsciously. It's because I was so moved. Is there anyone who wouldn't have been moved after seeing such a spectacle? With the bluish-purple sky in the background, the passage of clouds shone, bathed in the purple-pink light. Pale pink light. You can't express it with words like beautiful at all. Divine. That's the word that came to my mind. Gripping the control stick with my trembling hands, I steered the glider into the center of the thermal to gain enough altitude to fly above those clouds. I glanced at the front seat and looked at Senpai's face. Wie von hinten. Her clear childlike eyes were open wide as she gazed at the passage of clouds stretching across the firmament. This is the view that Itsuka wanted to show me. Iska, nicht Itsuka. To bring me to this place. Senpai, can you get the camera? Oh, that's right. Before we took off, Ageha had given her a digital camera. She asked us to take a picture if we managed to fly above the morning glory. We could see those clouds very well from here, so this was the perfect viewpoint. I've taken it. Das sieht eher aus wie von unten. Das im Hintergrund da ist doch der Himmel und nicht der Boden, oder? Well then, let's go. To that place. Yeah. Senpai nodded as if preparing herself. We didn't come here just to look at those clouds. We came to cross them over. Once we had gained enough altitude, I tilted the control stick and turned the glider. Finally, we were going there. The airflow here was calm and we could fly without being shaken by crosswinds. This high in the sky, there were hardly any clouds. The clear light blue light hue spread out in all directions. While paying attention to our rate of descent, we advanced through the transparent bright space. We were approaching the passage of clouds. A rolling airflow surrounds those clouds. If we could get on it, we could fly along the passage of clouds as far as we wanted. We finally arrived. At last, the morning glory was almost within our grasp. The moment I thought that... Oof. Oof. All of a sudden, it happened. Our view swung around, and the divine path of clouds that should have been right in front of us went far off in an instant. Suddenly, we had lost lift. In the blink of an eye, we realized that the glider was nosediving. Search for some Monster Hunter Musik. I quickly pulled at the control stick, but there was no response. The field of view span around, and we couldn't even tell if we were facing up or down. What is this? What's going on? Die Musik hört sich ein wenig dangerous an, so wirklich. A stall? However, there were no signs of it. It was just like the air had disappeared and we suddenly lost all lift. We were falling. What is it? Did something happen? They're falling! No way! Give me those binoculars! This is bad. What happened? Icon! Respond! Icon! Der kann besser als du, Mädchen. Icon! Respond! Icon! I'm busy right now. Beyond the canopy, the surface of the lake was rapidly approaching. We were falling with the nose pointing straight down. Icon! I'll level it out. In the heat of the moment, I didn't know which controls should I use. Anyway, I tried to lift the nose up and stabilize the wings. Whoa! A shock ran through the fuselage. It felt like it might get crushed. We, the pilots, also felt the vibrations passing through our whole bodies. For a moment, I thought that we had crashed. Are we alright? Looks like it. The nose and the wings leveled out. The glider had regained lift and was flying. We were 200 meters from the surface of the lake. Oof. In a moment we had fallen almost 800 meters. If the recovery took just a few more seconds, my whole body trembled with fear and relief. Are you alright, Senpai? Yeah, somehow. Her shoulders were trembling, but she managed to reply. What the hell happened just now? There were no signs of a stall that would occur when the airflow gets separated from the main wings. It is said that it often happens without warning, but for it to occur in a place with such stable airflow, we might have been caught in a strong downward draft. You mean just now? If that was the case, it was pretty strong. Do things like this really happen? It seems that in the summer, near the centers of lakes or big rivers, downbursts can occur sometimes. Downbursts are powerful downdrafts. If a huge mass of air falls to Earth in a downburst, it can have enough force to cause severe damage. Getting swallowed by something like that is pretty hopeless. We were in the vicinity of the center of the lake, just like Senpai said. We were so preoccupied with the morning glory that we had lost sight of our own position. Because of the lake, the air cools down, so it's possible that a strong downward draft would appear. The glider is flying using the force of the air. If that air itself falls down, it can do nothing but drop along with it. That might be the reason why we had lost the lift and fell so suddenly without warning. Ai-kun, Amani-chan, please respond. We heard Kotori's tearful voice over the radio. We're alright, we managed to level it out somehow. What a relief. What on earth happened? I don't know. Senpai said that we might have got caught in a strong downdraft. We almost fell into the lake head first. Hey, Kotori's heart's gonna stop. Sorry, but we're alright now. Oh. What was that? What happened? I don't know. Malfunction? Or maybe they were caught in a strong downdraft. But yes, it seems that someone managed to level it out before they would crash. Oh, that was dangerous. If they were a little late, they could have died. I guess it's dangerous for people to fly through the air. It is. For humans who don't have wings, yearning for the sky is a dangerous thing that requires a lot of courage. But that's why humans who can't fly are... Nissan? The morning glory. I quickly looked above. The place we were at a moment ago was already quite far away. Thinking that we were in such a high place makes me dizzy. Let's climb one more time. It's impossible, Aoi-kun. We won't make it in time. We won't know on this unless we try. As I shouted, I looked up at the sky. Before I noticed, the sunrise colors had disappeared and the whole sky was now dyed clear blue. The passage of clouds was nothing like it was at the beginning. Now that it was exposed to the sunlight, it was becoming weaker and gradually disappearing. I turned the glider towards the windmill hill. If we caught the powerful thermal from before, we still might be able to make it. I will take Senpai to that place. That's enough already. But we weren't able to go to that place, but I was able to see, even if just for a short time, the sight that Iska wanted to show me. That is enough. Senpai. Amane-senpai looked through the canopy at the clouds above. This is goodbye. Senpai's whisper, along with the passage of clouds, faded away into the sky. The last day of the summer holiday. Senpai. Hey there, Aoi-kun. Why are you up so early? That's my line. You weren't in the dormitory, so I thought you might be here. I woke up early, but I didn't see Senpai anywhere. All her things in her room were carefully tidied up. Yeah, I thought I'd tidy everything up before the others come back. I'll be moving to my dad's lap immediately after this. Today is the last day of the summer holiday. In other words, the day when Amane-senpai leaves the school. But we still have one day. But there's nothing left to do, right? Everyone was planning to get up before dawn again and go to the runway. We didn't think that a miraculous phenomenon would occur 2 days in a row. Even so, we wanted to believe there was a slight chance. However, I knew that we wouldn't be able to do it again so soon. At that time, when we were caught in the downdraft and then forcibly pulled up, the glider sustained strong G-forces and parts of the fuselage were damaged. It's possible to repair, but flying is out of the question for at least today. Senpai's objective was to fly to the morning glory. Now that it's out of reach, there was nothing left. You haven't seen any of the others, have you? No. Why? Because this year's summer holiday was so fun. It's hard for me to leave this place. I'm sorry, but could you say something to them for me? I'm not much of a talker. Senpai looked really troubled when she said that. Then she started packing all of the arranged things into a large travel bag. She's been living here a long time, so she has a lot of personal items. I'll help you carry it. No, it's okay. Those are mostly things that I don't need anyway, so I'll just leave behind anything I can't carry. Senpai said while gazing at her still cluttered desk. As she was looking it over, her gaze stopped at the photo frame. Are you leaving this behind too? Yeah. She smiled as if she was saying that even if she took it, nothing would change. When I saw her slightly lonely smile, all my bottled up regret came to a boil. I'm gonna continue it. I'll improve and definitely fly to the morning glory in the glider that you and the others have made. Yeah. Senpai nodded, and after thinking for a moment, put her bag down and stood in front of me. She took my hand and held it gently. In the garage, which didn't have air conditioning, it was as hot as a sauna. My hands were covered in sweat, but hers were as soft and smooth as freshly washed sheets. Then Senpai, with her childlike but slightly more grown-up than yesterday eyes, looked straight at me. Thank you, Aoi-kun. Thanks to you guys, in the end, I was able to go to that place. To the sky that until now I could only admire from below. When Senpai was saying that, she had a small yet satisfied smile. How about Isuka-san's feelings? I wanted to ask if she understood the reason why Isuka-san had become so engrossed with gliders. Honestly, I still don't really know, but I have already decided to leave. So thank you. Senpai closed her eyes and hugged me gently. To tell the truth, I thought I was going to cry. Use the things in here however you want. The winch at the runway is also Soaring Club's equipment. What about these designs? The designs have been left on the drawing board. Ach stimmt, sie hat irgendwie an einer V2 gearbeitet, ne? Ich frage mich, ob die Geschichte jetzt durch ist oder ob die noch eine ganze Weile weitergeht. I finished them last night, but I don't need them anymore. I'm sorry, but if you don't need them, just throw them away. I couldn't. Well then, if I don't get going, I'll miss my bus. Senpai put her bag on her shoulder. She staggered slightly under its weight. I'll walk you to the bus stop. Okay, thanks. With a smile that was crisp and sunny as the summer sky, Senpai has left the garage behind. The garage where she secluded herself for so many years. Haha, it really was the most fun summer ever. The next day. The first day of the new school term. Dass wir einfach Schrittgeräusche kriegen. Das hatten wir vorher nie, glaube ich. Das war kein besonders satisfying goodbye. What are we going to do now that we don't have enough members? We can't ask Anshan to help every time we want to do a flight. So what should we do about transporting the glider? What should I do to get a pilot's license? Although we were disheartened from the feeling of loss after Amane-senpai had left, we discussed our plans for the club on the way to school in the morning. Kotori, Age, and I all felt the same about continuing the activities of the Soaring Club. Next time we'll definitely fly there, to that passage of clouds. It was still a little further to our dream than we have yet to fulfill. However, it was almost within our grasp. With that experience, it was no longer just a dream. We all had a precious objective now. All three of us could clearly imagine this in our minds. That's why we didn't have time to feel down. What awaited us was an unbelievable scene. Oof, depression incoming. What? What is this? Heavy machinery had smashed a hole in the wall of the garage and was crushing the roof behind the no entry sign. No way! What's going on? Kotori and Ageha were at a loss for words before such a horrifying spectacle. I stood there in a daze, frantically trying to grasp what was going on here. But there was no way I could comprehend it. The place where we were gathering and spending time together every day until yesterday had suddenly been destroyed. Our garage is... My knees were trembling. I felt like all the strength had left my body, and yet an intense rage surged from within. What the hell is this? I approached the man who seemed to be the foreman, but he only made a troubled face. Of course, these people had only been dispatched here by someone to do the demolition work. but I had no other outlet for my emotions. Why are you doing this? What else is there to do? This is what was promised from the beginning. Tobioka! Tobioka was glaring at me as if to say that the workers aren't the ones I should be talking with. That is, if I have any complaints, I should talk to him. Oh, then I'll tell him, alright. What's the meaning of this? I've told you before. When the summer day is over, the Story Club will have its status revoked. This place was scheduled to be demolished. Und niemand sagt dir Bescheid? What the fuck? But we're still here! You don't have enough members to be recognized as a club. It has been tolerated until now, but we won't be so lenient any longer. That's an oppression. It was accepted that we had the freedom to carry out our club's activities. If you want to continue your activities, feel free. Only as a circle. Tobioka, you son of a... Owie! I almost jumped at him without thinking, but Ageha stopped me at the last moment. Owie, don't do it. She shook her head in frustration. Don't get in the way of the work. It's already too late anyway. With those words, Tobioka left. We stared dumbfoundedly at the demolition work. Like he said, we were already too late. And I had finally found something that I wanted to do. Losing this is just too much. Yeah. Ageha hardly said anything. She just quietly watched the garage being demolished. And I... Hey, Aoi-kun. I climbed over the no-entry fence and walked into the garage. Hey you, what are you doing? It's dangerous. The foreman from before rushed over, flustered. Excuse me, just a moment. I said and pushed him aside. Then I stepped into the half-destroyed garage. The foreman hurriedly stopped the machinery. Aoi-kun. Aoi. The inside of the garage was crushed. All our memories were smashed to smithereens. Die haben sich einfach mit allem da drin kaputt gemacht, was zur Hölle? I rummaged through it emotionlessly and picked up the things I was looking for. Sorry about that. It's okay now. I bowed my head to the workers and stepped outside the no-entry sign. Let's go. Aoi-kun. Those are the designs that Amane-senpai sketched. Yesterday she said that she had completed them. Amane-chan's designs. And the photo frame that was decorating Senpai's desk. Genau die beiden Sachen habe ich erwartet. Inside was the photo that had stirred us all into action. It's not over yet. Huh? Mustering all my bravery, I faced them with a smile as bright as the midsummer sun. I won't let it end like this. We will definitely fly in our glider. Kotori, who was about to cry, smiled at me. Yeah. Ageha's depressed expression also lit up with a smile again. Alright. Das ging einfach. A giant cumulonimbus was drifting in the clear blue sky. It is said the tops of such clouds sometimes extend up to the stratosphere, which means that there are updrafts that reach high. Our dream isn't over yet. It begins right here. Ist das jetzt das Ende des Spiels? Gibt's davon zwei einen Teil? Oder geht's einfach weiter? Was machen Jode und Assa an der Seite?